I want to propose to you that you will be giving yourself an advantage for progress in life when you have a strategy for tragedy. A strategy for tragedy will cushion you from fatal shock when things don't go your way, as they often will. See, many times things will not go your way. If you're not ready for tragedy, if you don't have the strategy for tragedy, you will be in trouble when things don't go your way. Let's begin by defining strategy. What is strategy? Together, strategy and tactics bridge the gap between ends and means. Strategy answers the question, what is it that we seek and how are we going to achieve it? Strategy is a plan. It is a how, a means of getting from here to there. And then what is tragedy? A tragedy is a form of attachment to circumstances. When you become attached to circumstances and then experience an outcome that runs afoul of your expectations, emotional pain is the natural result. That is, if you are attached to a circumstance and all of a sudden your experience doesn't go, it is not aligned to your expectation, then tragedy sets in. And the greater the attachment, the greater the pain. Tragedy is when things don't go as expected. So I'm going to talk to you about having a plan, a how, for when things do not go your way. And this strategy for tragedy will apply to a wide range of tragedies you can go through as a human being. Death, loss, disappointment. Whether you are losing your wife, you're losing your family, you're losing your work, you're losing your income. That's what this strategy will cover. With a strategy for tragedy, you can be sure you will stand after every tragedy that will visit you. So what is your strategy for tragedy? We all have about 3 common attitudes to tragedy. We will either deny it, decry it, or defy it. Now I'm going to ask you, which one do you adopt? See, those who deny tragedy are those who say there's no crisis. Whenever there's tragedy, their response is always, there's nothing wrong. The problem with that response is that you won't act, and it will get worse. Every time there's a crisis and you say there's no crisis, you are making the crisis bigger by not acting to bring it down. And what we also get from there is procrastination. You see, because you think there's no crisis, so there's nothing to be done. Some people deny the deep problems that they've put themselves in. Someone knows that I'm in deep debt, deep financial debt. But instead of facing it, he will say, no, it's not a problem, just a little thing. It's not a little thing, it's a tragedy. You need to face it. So some people deny a tragedy. Some people decry a tragedy. These are those who will say, oh my God, it's so big. All they do is comment and complain about the greatness of this tragedy that stands before them. The problem with this response is that you will not act. It will get worse. You see, because you're busy saying it is a big problem. You are busy complaining. You are busy commenting. And what we get from there is protestation. Remember I said, when you deny it, you get procrastination. When you decry it, you get protestation. But my favorite response to tragedy, an attitude that I believe we should all adopt, is an attitude of defying tragedy. This is an attitude of David when he says, I shall not die, but live and declare the works of the Lord. You see, whatever stands in my way, I acknowledge the tragedy, but I'm determined to move beyond it anyhow. And what we get there is progress.